Let's bring him in, our good friend, Dr. Joe Congini, Sports Medicine Center at Akron Children's Hospital, with some good insight this morning into the world of sports medicine. Good morning, Dr. Joe.
Hi, Ray. How are you doing today?
I'm doing terrific with this weather we're having. How can we not be in good shape this morning?
Absolutely. This is really good, and it's good for the topic I'm going to be talking about. Is training camps have started. Official practices have started. Two-a-days have started. Contact practices in the sport of football have started. So all of our fall athletes have geared up for so long. We have some new rules. We had extra practices in the months of May, June, and July to get ready for it, but it's here now in August, and sports are here. And particularly, Ray, this morning in the sport of football, and where I spend most of my time in high school football, I wanted to point out a couple points. I think we've talked about this, but it's been several years, and I looked up several articles on it last night and read a bit about it again. And I know one of my old colleagues, when I very first started, told me, and it's really bared out to be true in 35-plus years, is many of the injuries that occur in the first few weeks of training camp and practice and games. People have, in some of the articles I looked at, quoted, and there are a couple of research articles, about half of the injuries occur before the first game. About half of the injuries in the sport of football occur before the first game is played. About two-thirds occur in the first 3 to 4 weeks into the season. And then it really levels off, and there's a lot fewer injuries after that. But a lot of the injuries occur early on. And I think there's a lot of reasons for it. I'm going to tell you a few of what I think from my observations in many years. But, it's hard to simulate these practices, without the full pads and without full contact. We'll see, for starters, are the extra practices that occurred in the late spring and early summer, are they going to affect this pattern? Are they going to affect it positively, or even could they affect it negatively where we have more injuries? The big questions that come up, and even some of the best-known athletic trainers and physical therapists in the country were looking at, how do you go from no contact to direct contact? How do we use all this knowledge that we've gained from sports science to try to make these early practices safer so we don't see these injury rates that occur all the way from high school through college and into the professional ranks, Ray? Will the extra conditioning practices, as I mentioned, be a positive or a negative? One of the things I've observed is, being mainly in the high school realm, many high school athletes have matured. That's something the college and the pro people don't have to deal with. But many of these kids come to fall camp and the beginning of practice in all the sports again, but particularly football, with basically a new body. They've grown, they've matured, they have different strength patterns, they have different body types when they get there. And I believe that part of it is that maturation process is kids getting used to using this new body they have. And I believe that part of that also moves over into the area of the weight room and the performance trainers that have been working with these kids. And many of these kids have gained weight, but in the way they've gained weight, they've gained strength, they've gained explosion, they've gained, in so many different ways. Is that a positive, or if they don't know how to use it, could it be a negative? So they get into these higher intensity aerobic workouts, strength and physical work like they have not done before, direct contact, lots of explosive movements, and the injury rates go way up. So it's really something that we've struggled with for a long time, and I don't know still, Ray, in the year 2023 if we've wrapped our arms around this concept.
Interesting. Good stuff this morning. Joe, thank you so much. Insight and really looking out for all of us when you're bringing up these stats and research and what everything is saying. We really appreciate it. Thanks for the time again.
Thanks, Ray. Have a great week, okay?
You too. Dr. Joe Congini, Sports Medicine Center, Akron Children's Hospital with us.